your times will come. You can ask any of my kids, our top runner, Chris, and I've pounded my head with Bob for a year on the kid. He would go out and run workouts with me, and I could do anywhere between 5:30 to 6-minute pace with him pretty easily on tempo runs, and then we do mile repeats, and he could hammer out 5:20s all day on 2 minutes rest. I mean, he could do 4 to 5 of them, which, and he was only a sophomore. And so, and he was a first-year runner. But he couldn't break 18 minutes for 5K for the life of him. And I couldn't figure it out. And he was just focusing so much on practices. When it came to the races, he was so nervous. And then all of a sudden, the pressure across country and team went away, and he just started running. He just got completely out of it, and we went to one road race in the middle of the track season, and all of a sudden he runs 17 flat. And he drops a minute PR from cross to the first week of track. And then he runs another. I was like, I just want to see what you can do again. And like a week later, he goes, 16:40, and then he goes 16:30, just like that. He drops a minute and a half in 2 to 3 months. And all it was his direction. He was pointing in the wrong, he was just thinking in the wrong place the whole season. He was worrying about the journey as opposed to just letting the workouts happen, and the results would come. He was just so focused on, I've got to race right, I've got to race right. This race is important, this race is important. Every week was important. Instead of districts, region, state's important, this is my goal. Yeah, that's the next one. Your middle finger. Your middle finger is reality.
It's reality?
It's reality.
Maybe get some reality.
It signals hate, it signals disbelief. The truth is, everybody has their own reality. Your reality is completely different than his. His is completely different than his. You're trying to go for sub 4 minutes. Trust me, you're in a whole different world in your head. Jerry Lindgren is a crazy man. He is out there. Loopy, I've told Bob when I've talked to him, that guy is in a world of his own sometimes. But he's great to talk to and knows a lot about running, don't get me wrong, but definitely a strange character. But everybody that, I'm sure you guys have had it when you're first starting out, running is a very lonely sport, and that's why, if you notice, teams usually are really cliquey, and the people outside of your team are like, you're crazy, what are you doing running, what the heck, why are you doing this? And it's because they have a completely different reality. Running is a punishment. Running is something they do because they want to stay in shape, not because they want to get better. It's something they're forced to do. You guys do it obviously because you love it. If you're not here because you love running, you've got a problem. Like, you're in the wrong place. By far, and
reality.
Yeah, I got reality. Now, just as your middle finger and your index finger work together here, just as the middle finger works together with your index finger to point in the right directions. Sometimes, you point a little bit, or you use this for peace, stuff like that. They're kind of conjoined. There's also a little thing he says in there, the people closest to you are those that will discourage you the most sometimes. Sometimes you'll have a teammate that, doesn't want you to do better, doesn't want you to beat them. The number one hates the number two because they don't want to get up. That happens a lot. Or you have, a rival that instead of working together to try and get faster, you're working together to pound the crap out of each other, or you hope they have a bad day. You know what? I hope everybody races a great race on my great day because I want to show them that I'm better that day than their best day. Because I don't want to be the guy that wins on a day where the number one guy in state fell. I don't want, and that doesn't do anything for me. That's what I love about running is you can compare times across, anything. A distance is a distance, a time is a time. Courses may vary slightly, but that's what I love about running. And my advice to you guys, you guys are already in running, but I try and tell younger athletes this and their parents, and they don't quite get it because they think football is God and soccer. But I can go to any college page. I can go to Bob's page right now if I pulled it up. I can go to his website, and I can show you if you run X time at X distance, you may qualify for a scholarship. You find me a football program that says if you score X touchdowns or you do X amount of yards, you're going to get a scholarship, or soccer, or any other sport like that. There isn't another sport like that.
Swimming.
Yeah, swimming. Sorry.
That's about it.
That's about it. It's running and swimming, time and distance, and that's it. You could be the national champion in tennis at your age, but what does that really mean? What if you were like one of 5 people that were in your age group that actually competed?
And Ray, talk about reality. Remember what we said yesterday, that result on the paper
Oh,
is
yeah.
reality.
Yeah, I've got it posted in my room. If any of my runners will tell you, it's in my room. It says, pain is temporary, results posted on the internet are forever.
And it's not like
And they are.
you don't get your own personal link where they link on there, get a YouTube of you getting shoved down, or
Right. Oh, yeah.
or you in the lead early before you got dogged.
Oh, yeah.
So it is reality. Although Lindgren never knew a thing about reality.
No, he's quite loopy.
No, he's in another world.
He is in another world.
Even today.
Yes, today. Oh, yeah. All right, now your ring finger. Ring finger is obviously commitment. You know, the commitment you make to your family, to your team, to your colleagues, to the sport. You know, the ring finger is a promise for forever. Huh?
He said, "Oh yeah, and your wife."
Yeah, and your wife, right? Now, I don't know if you guys know why it's called the ring finger and why, you know, people put, you know, the ring on that finger. The Romans believed that there was a vein from that finger all the way to your heart, and so it was basically love.
Isn't it always only on the left side?
Yeah, it's on the left side. It was a vein from the left side of your hand. Well, that's why it's
I don't see it.
Huh? No, it's on the left hand. So, you know, they believed that there was a vein that ran straight up your arm and into your heart. So that ring of commitment was a ring to your heart, basically. And, you know, if you don't commit, I mean, obviously a lot of you are because you're here doing this work now, but if you can't commit to it, to put in the time that you need to, distance running is a lifetime sport. I mean, there are people running into their 70s and 80s at these road races that are still shuffling along at 8-minute pace, 7-minute pace sometimes. Some slower, but I saw a 70-year-old going and ran like 21:20 at our local 5K race the other day. Yeah.
I give up.
You give up. I mean, I'm serious. He was what, like 72? He ran 21:20, 21:25, something like that.
I gotta see.
And this is with a hill.
I gotta see it.
Oh, I'll pull up the results. They're on the internet.
It's a road race. Not
It is a road race. But, you know, so you have to make sure you commit. If success were possible without hardship and strife, it'd never happen. Things are going to happen. You're going to have that fall in a race that you got to pick yourself up like, you know, Pilar did. You know, you're going to have things that you don't expect. You have to prepare for the unexpected by putting in that base, by being committed, by, you know, knowing what you can do. You know, there's times in practice where you feel like garbage, but you know, I've just got to push through it. But the same thing happens in a race. You know, you have to believe that you can overcome it. Because the next time when it happens, you'll be more prepared for it. Even if you just get up and finish the race, at least the next time it won't be so bad if it happens. You know, your body is prepared. It's like that gimmick those people use on that armband crap. All that gimmick is, I mean, if you guys don't know this, is they push you down, your body adjusts, they put the band on, now your body's ready for it. Your mind has prepared it. It's the second time it's happening. You know the guy's going to push you. Duh. Of course my body is going to stop. It's the same thing in a race. If you are ready for something that has already happened, it's a lot easier to motivate yourself through it. I've been here before. I can get up. I can go finish that race. You know, the harder you work, I'll go back to, well, you don't have to go back that one, but the harder you work, the sweeter the end result is. Because, you know, I always tell all runners that I run into, the harder I make practice, it's because I want you to race easy. I want the race to be fun. I want you guys to go and enjoy the race. Go enjoy that part of it. The harder my practices are, the easier it is later on. You know, the one thing that clicked for me in high school as a sophomore, just out of nowhere, because I was just kind of, you know, my freshman year I ran great, and I didn't know what the heck summer training was, and I came out my first race as a sophomore. My freshman year I ran 16:24. We ran 3 mile back then. And my first race as a sophomore was 19:30. I mean, 3-minute loss just from the summer. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? This is not good. Now, I will tell you, the end of that season, I finished 7th at state with a 15:38. I dropped 4 minutes in that one season. But what finally clicked for me was halfway through the season, my coach took me aside and he's like, look, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this. We practice 2 hours a day, you know, with warm-up, cool-down, everything, about 2 hours every day. You can suck it up for 15 freaking minutes. I don't care what you do to suck it up for 15 minutes, but you can get your ass on that line, and you can take that 15 minutes, and you can pound it out, because you work your butt off for me every day for 2 hours.